Before the Europeans came to America, the Native Americans already had societies. They lived in everywhere of the North and South America. Currently, we are in the eastern side of Virginia, where the Powhatans had their empire. You can see it is extraordinarily hilly and woody. On the other side of these trees is the Atlantic Ocean. Well, eventually it's the James River, and after that would be the Atlantic Ocean. So you could tell that from their geography, they probably had lots of animals to hunt. They had resources. They had places to live. They had stuff to make stuff with. They could go fishing. They had canoes that they could go and go hunting and fishing even further. They could use them for trading. This was actually a very profitable place to live. As you know, the Powhatans were under one chief. That would be Chief Powhatan. But there were a lot of little villages. This is the Paspahegh village. It does not exist anymore, but archaeologists came. They've dug up all of the remnants. They'd be able to replace and figure what life was like back then. They built a replica. Over here is the house, the Hawkins. And they're single families, so instead of having one long house they shared, this one every family had their own. You can see inside, along the edges, they have places to lay and to sit. They have rafts. They can hang their tools and their baskets and all their necessities from the ceiling. And they have a little cooking place in the middle for small family fires and for heat. If you come outside, you can have the large cooking fire where everybody could work together, cook together, do whatever they needed together. It's their central location where they could meet. Many of the people who are working here are part of the Powhatan tribe. No, they did not die out. Yes, they still exist. Yes, they live like normal people. But these are historians, mostly, who would like to help us learn how life was like back then. And so they have taken a job to help teach us what things are like. This would be a canoe that they make. Rather cool. I've heard last time I was here that they put the log in the river first to find out which way is up, because sometimes when you cut a hole in the top, they find out that is actually the bottom of where the log wanted to be. So you find out what way the hole is, what way is up on the log, you take it out, and they actually build a fire inside of the canoe to burn out the canoe. For economics, they needed to have stuff that they could trade and have stuff that they could buy for themselves, because economics is how wealthy you are, and in this case how wealthy they were was how well they could eat. So as you can probably tell, having the river right down there, they have canoes so they could go hunting and fishing. They had plenty of food. They could trade with whoever they wanted, whenever they wanted. They were actually fairly wealthy. The culture of the Powhatan Indians was based on their geography. They did not need to wear many clothes, the men or the women. They made their tools out of the wood that was next to them. They spoke the Algonquin language. They had their own society. They did not need the Europeans when the Europeans came to help.